Luna and the Starlight Door. Luna was nearly asleep when something tapped softly on her bedroom window. She sat up, rubbing her eyes, and saw a tiny envelope glowing lavender hovering just outside the glass. When she slid the window open, the envelope drifted onto her pillow like a petal on a breeze. Inside was a note written in silver dust. Dear Luna, your courage is needed beyond the Starlight Door. Come at moonrise, follow the firefly. As Luna read, the silver letters rearranged themselves into a shimmering arrow that pointed toward her garden. A procession of blinking golden fireflies appeared on her windowsill, then zigzagged down the hallway, through the back door, and into the fragrant night. Luna's heart fluttered with excitement and a pinch of sleepiness, but adventure always won. She slipped on her rainbow slippers, grabbed her moon-patterned cloak, and tiptoed after the dancing lights. The garden smelled of mint and jasmine. At the far end, hidden between two old rose bushes, the fireflies gathered around an art-shaped shimmer of light. A door made entirely of starlight, tall enough for a brave child. Luna took a deep breath, reminded herself that courage is simply doing it, even when you're a little scared, and stepped through the glowing threshold. Beyond the shining arch, Luna found herself standing in a meadow, bathed in a silver moon so full and bright it felt like afternoon made of stardust. In its center grew an enormous willow whose leaves glowed pale blue and rustled like 1,000 tiny bells. The tree's trunk opened its bark-like curtains, revealing a gentle, grandmotherly face made of swirling sap. "Welcome, Luna," the willow whispered, her voice like wind through chimes. "I am Willowella, keeper of crossroads. The silver note has chosen you." A slender branch lowered, revealing 3 dangling charms: a glass acorn that glinted gold inside, a feather made of frost that never melted, and a pebble that glowed warm pink. "Choose the charm that feels right," Willowella advised. Luna closed her eyes, letting her fingertips hover over the choices. When she touched the pebble, it pulsed kindly, like a tiny heartbeat. She fastened it to a cord around her neck. Willowella smiled, and a new path of moonlit grass unfurled ahead. "This way will test your heart, but it will also show its strength." With a grateful nod, Luna followed the soft pink glow into the unknown. The pebble's gentle light guided Luna to a gurgling brook, unlike any she had seen. Instead of ripples, translucent, soap-like bubbles bobbed along its surface, bouncing gently off mossy stones and giggling each time they popped. On a rock sat a freckle-nosed otter, wearing a tiny sailor hat, polishing a walnut shell whistle. "Need to cross?" he squeaked politely. "Ride a bubble. They're springy but safe." Luna eyed the wobbling orbs. "Trust the brook," the pebble warned, as if answering her doubt. So she stepped onto a large pearly bubble. At once it felt rubbery yet steady, lifting her just above the sparkling water. With a boing, the bubble carried her halfway across, gently rolling like a trampoline in slow motion. Luna laughed, arms outstretched for balance, as the otter played a jaunty tune to keep the bubbles rhythmic. On the far bank, she hopped off onto soft grass. "Take this," the otter said, handing her the walnut whistle. "One peep will call the river breeze, should you need it." Luna tucked the whistle into her cloak pocket, thanked her new friend, and continued, glancing back to see the otter wave until she vanished behind a hill. Soon Luna reached a violet cliff where a narrow opening pulsed with rainbow light. Inside awaited a cavern of crystals that hummed like distant choir practice. Towering prisms jutted from walls and ceiling, scattering colors that painted moving rainbows on Luna's cloak. Tiny crystal sprites, each no larger than Luna's thumb, flitted among the stalactites. Every sip of their wings produced a chime, turning the cave into a living music box. Sing your name, they chime together, so the cave will know you. Luna took a steadying breath and sang, a bit shyly at first, Luna Na. The crystals resonated, building harmony until her single note sounded like a choir of brave explorers. The sprites rejoiced and arranged themselves into the shape of a staircase, spiraling upward through the cavern. As Luna climbed the crystal steps, each sprite she passed rewarded her with a wing kiss of sparkling dust. At the top landing, she received a small iridescent scale, smooth as glass yet lighter than air. For melodies yet unsung, the sprites chorused. Luna tucked the crystal scale safely away, heart thrumming to the cave's gentle hymn. The crystal staircase emerged onto a platform of plush clouds. Luna gasped as she stepped into the sky-bound library, an entire maze of book trees whose branches were shelves and whose leaves were fluttering pages. Soft updrafts carried glowing story orbs that drifted like lanterns between aisles. A librarian made of wispy cirrus clouds floated down, wearing moon-rimmed spectacles and a bookmark necktie. I am Nimbus, steward of stories, he announced in a voice that rolled like gentle thunder. Each traveler must add one tale before continuing. He offered Luna a blank, feather-light book and a quill shaped like a comet's tail. Remembering Nana's bedtime stories and her own adventure so far, Luna wrote a short poem about courage blooming in small hearts. When she set down the quill, the book absorbed her words, glowed, and gently lifted itself onto an empty branch that grew just in time to hold it. As thanks, Nimbus handed her a parchment map that redrew itself with every step she took. Let it lead when paths seem lost, he said, bowing. Luna tucked the map into her cloak, waved farewell, and followed a staircase of condensed rainbow mist leading back to solid ground. The rainbow mist hardened into an arcing bridge that spanned a yawning sky canyon filled with swirling sunset clouds. Colors beneath Luna's feet shifted like living silk, warm reds giving way to cool indigos as she walked. At the middle hovered a storm sprite, a charcoal puffball crackling with blue static and sporting a scowl as wide as the horizon. To pass, he boomed. Answer, what grows larger the more you share it, yet weighs nothing at all? Luna's thoughts tumbled, secrets, shadows, songs. She remembered the bubble's laughter, the cave's harmony, and how each friendly greeting had brightened her heart. Joy, she answered confidently. The sprite's thunderous frown melted into a sunny grin. Correct. I've guarded this bridge for eons, and you answered quicker than most. Raindrops turned to confetti, and the sprite shrank into a fluffy white tuft that offered itself like a marshmallow. Take a storm's gentleness with you, he whispered. Luna tucked the soft tuft beside the whistle. The rest of the bridge shimmered into pastel calm, and she crossed easily onto the next plateau, feeling lighter than a breeze. Beyond the bridge stretched a hidden garden, drenched in moonlight so bright the flowers cast star-shaped shadows. Blossoms shaped like teacups opened slowly, releasing glowing pollen that floated upward like newborn constellations. In the center, a marble well waited, its water as dark and reflective as midnight glass. When Luna approached, the changing map flared with silver light, revealing scripted instructions. Sing into the well what you need most. It will echo back the gift. Luna thought of bedtime fears she sometimes had, strange creaks, wild shadows, distant thunder, and how every child felt those fears too. She closed her eyes and sang the lullaby Nana hummed, weaving new words of bravery into the tune. The well shimmered. Wind bells sprouted around its rim, chiming her melody back in soft, soothing echoes. A warm breeze encircled Luna, filling her chest with calm courage. A single moonflower petal drifted into her hand, glowing softly. Luna pinned it beside the crystal scale, heart strengthened for the road ahead. A narrow path led from the garden into a misty valley where a jade dragon slept, curled around a grassy hillock, its emerald scales twinkling like city lights at dusk. Each snore puffed heart-shaped smoke rings that floated lazily skyward. A wooden sign, painted with care, read, "Please wake me kindly, never rudely." Luna remembered the crystal scale and the walnut whistle. She tapped the scale lightly with the whistle, producing a shimmering chord, then played Willowella's lullaby backward, turning a sleep song into a wake-up melody. The rings of smoke paused mid-air. The dragon's eyes fluttered open, gentle and gold. "Thank you," the dragon rumbled, stretching wings that spanned the valley. "Few wake me with respect. I guard the Heart Wish Fountain, but it lies atop a peak too high for human feet. Ride on my back." Luna climbed the dragon's foreleg, nestling between two warm spines. With a swift beat of mighty wings, they soared above clouds, moonlight streaking past. Luna's cloak billowed like a comet's tail as she hugged the dragon's neck, ready for the final test. The fountain stood upon a silver platform in the middle of a mirror-still lake atop the mountain peak. Instead of water, ribbons of rose gold light arced upward, weaving briefly into constellations before sprinkling back down like gentle fireworks. True wish may be spoken here," the dragon explained, setting Luna lightly on the platform. "Choose wisely, for the universe listens closely." Luna gazed into the luminous spray and thought of children everywhere, of blankets pulled over worried eyes, of small hands clutching plush toys for assurance. She spoke clearly. "I wish that every child, every night, will feel safe, loved, and brave inside their dreams." The fountain brightened, erupting in a pillar of light that pierced the sky. It fragmented into countless shooting stars, each streaking outward in different directions, toward villages, cities, cabins, and cottages around the world. The dragon bowed its head. "A selfless wish is the rarest kind. Your journey nears its end, Luna." the dragon glided back to the meadow where the starlight door shimmered. Willowella, Nimbus, the otter, and the storm sprite were gathered, their faces beaming with pride. Petals, bubbles, and tiny sparks drifted around like celebratory confetti. "You completed the Silver Nose journey," Willowella proclaimed. "You showed that small hearts can hold immense light." The pebble compass rose from Luna's neck, transforming into a tiny glowing moon that hovered before settling as a pendant over her heart. Luna hugged each friend in turn, then stepped through the arch just as the first blush of dawn painted her garden wall. The fireflies winked farewell and disappeared. Luna tiptoed back to bed, tucked the moon pendant beneath her pillow, and finally fell asleep. At breakfast, Nana found Luna dreamily stirring her cereal. "Sleep well?" she asked. Luna nodded, smiling privately. Somewhere far away, ribbons of rose gold light continued to fall, and children everywhere slipped into peaceful dreams, unaware that a girl named Luna had wished it so. Now, close your eyes and follow Sister Moonlight into a sweet dreamland. Good night, sweet dreams.